When eccentric doctor and obsessive hoarder Harold Carr died at the age of 89, his relatives faced the daunting task of sorting through his estate. His house was crammed with piles of medical equipment, beer mugs, thousands of receipts, even a World War II-era spy drone. But all their efforts were worth it when they opened the door of his garage and stumbled upon the gold. Inside, they found a 1937 Bugatti Type 57 Sautalandi. This car was one of only 17 ever produced. Historic car with only 26,284 miles, with 99% of its original parts. They decided to sell it in Paris in a month. Its price topped the world record of £4.4 million at auction. The auctioneers offered a reserve price of £3 million for a two-seater described as one of the best road sports cars of the golden era of the 1930s. You can find out why Ferraris are so expensive in our previous text. 15 of the 17 Atalanta still exist. This particular model was originally owned by Earl Howe, a leading figure in British motorsport. It has a 3.3-liter V8 engine, a 4-speed manual transmission, and can reach 60 miles per hour in 10 seconds. Dr. Carr was an orthopedic surgeon who served as a military doctor during World War II. He later became a car enthusiast and bought a car in 1955. He drove it for several years before leaving it in a garage near his home in Gosforth. The last tax sheet expired in December 1960. Carr has never married, so 8 of his relatives must share the proceeds from his estate. The nephew, who wished to remain anonymous, said, "We knew he had several cars, but we had no idea what they were. There was little in local folklore that he owned a Bugatti, but no one knew for sure. It cost so much because he hasn't used it in 50 years. It was one of the original supercars." His relatives made sure that the money was distributed among family members. His nephew described his uncle as a very eccentric old gentleman. He added, "I suppose you could call him a crazy doctor. People who saw him on the street thought he was a tramp. He wore 2 pairs of trousers at the same time. All the kids laughed at him in the street when he was fiddling with his cars because he had a piece of rubber tube on his head to keep the oil out of his hair. But he was always such a generous person." In the last years of his life, Dr. Carr suffered from a form of obsessive-compulsive disorder and kept everything in the house. In his detached house, stacks of folders 180 centimeters high were stacked, even including receipts for pencils bought in the 1950s. Over the years, Dr. Carr has resisted many offers to buy Bugatti. When his property was cleared, dozens of notes from potential buyers were found inside. He received letters from all over the country. People came from all over to try and convince him to sell the car.